بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. So my friends, we said tafsir has two main branches. Please help me with this. Help me. The tafsir has two main branches. One branches we called it Yeah. Al-Ma'thur. Al-Ma'thur meaning what? Give me the meaning of it. Textual. Based on text. Based on text. Text means what? Means the Quran itself. Sometimes the Quran is the text. We use the Quran in understanding the Quran. We use this verse to tackle that verse. Or the hadith of the Prophet, or the Imams, or the Sahaba, or the Tabi'een. Okay? Textual, ma'thur. Versus what? Al-Aqli. So this is an-Naqli also. You can call it an-Naqli. Because naql, you are transmitting. Naql means to transmit, not nuqli. And then al-Aqli here. And what do we call it here first? Aqli is versus Naqli. Aqli is intellectual. And Ijtihadi. Ahsant. Al-Ijtihadi. Reasoning. Al-Ijtihadi, reasoning. And this is intellectual. Okay? Sister Najat. So we have two types. But they have two names. Al-Ma'thur means textual. Versus what? Ijtihadi means using your brain. Or sometimes they call it Naqli versus what? Naqli means when you copy. You copy the answer from this. Naql, to transfer, to copy from this book into your notebook. Or versus what? Aqli uses your brain. So we finished with this one, alhamdulillah. We finished with this one. Now we are left with that one. So forget about this one because we finished. We spent several weeks on this one. But this one also, the ijtihadi has two types also. What are they? The tafsir that is based on aql, on your understanding, on your reasoning, on your reflection, is also divided into two types. What are these two types? Exactly. One type is ayatul ahkam, this one. That is only specifically for what? Tafsir, which deals and tackles what? One issue. And what is this issue? Rulings. Ahsan. Rulings. Ayatul ahkam. We call it ayatul ahkam. Ayatul ahkam, these are fatwa. Rulings are fatwa. So where does he, Sister Najat, derive, the faqih, the jurist, where does he derive his opinion from? From what? Ayat, from the Quran. He uses his brain, his studies, his expertise in understanding the ayah and saying the ayah says this. He gives fatwa. So this is a type of ijtihadi, reasoning, based on ijtihad, based on aql, based on reasoning. What is the second one here? So part of it is focusing on ayatul ahkam, rulings. Halal, haram. What is the second part? Mu'amalat is part of. This is ibadat and mu'amalat. Ayatul ahkam, both. Ibadat, worshipping, mu'amalat, dealings. But this one,
Right. More or less,
Exactly. Aqidah is one of them. Ideology. Okay? Because ideology is different than rulings. Ideology such as what? Give me an example. One item in the Tawheed, monotheism. Where do we get it? From the Quran. There are verses in the Quran that speaks about ideology. So we have to understand them. And also we have to understand them through aql. We have to incorporate aql. Such as what? Give me an example of an ayah in the Quran that are mutashabih, symbolic. But we tackle it with aql from the Quran itself. Right hand of God. Or Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arsh istawa. God, the most gracious, sat on his throne. Many people say, khalas, the Quran says God sits on his throne. So why do you argue with me? We say, no, this is mutashabihat. God says there are muhkamat in Surah Al-Imran and mutashabihat. So mutashabihat you have to investigate to get the muhkamat. You don't need to investigate to get to the answer. You don't need. Such as what? Very simple. I don't need to spend much time to understand the meaning of it. Such as what? لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. God does not overburden anyone beyond its capacity. If someone cannot fast, he's sick, he's elderly, he needs to drink water, he has a problem with his liver, with his kidney, with his heart, does he have to fast? No, God says, I don't burden. If doctor says dangerous, then I'm not going to overburden you. This is muhkamat. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Muhkamat. God is unique. He doesn't have a match. Ahad. Okay? This is muhkam. But mutashabih, Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arsh istawa. So now we have a big debate between Ash'arite and Mu'tazilite. They were fighting for centuries over this verse. Does he have a physical structure? Does he have a physical throne? Oh, these are metaphors. Darbul mathal, metaphors. Proverbs. So how do we tackle this? We tackle the mutashabihat, Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arsh istawa, with muhkam. The muhkam comes and unlocks the mutashabih, explains the mutashabih. So we go to the Quran itself to see what he says about God, the nature of God. We find in Surah Ash-Shura, God says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ. Nothing like unto God. Nothing resembles God. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing resembles God. Do you have resemblance, Hamid? People. You are a human, and this is your resemblance. They have eyes, they have brain, they have ears, they walk, they eat, we have resemblance. Animals have resemblance. Objects have resemblance. Except God has no resemblance. You cannot compare him to anything. You cannot say God is, similar to Jesus, Maybe there are differences between him and Jesus, but he's similar. We cannot even use the word similar. He's not similar. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. In Surah At-Tawheed, what do we say? وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Najat, kufuwan means a match, similarity. God has no similarity whatsoever. So you cannot even compare him to Jibra'il or Israel or Israfil or Ruhul Qudus or this prophet or that angel. He's unique. Have you seen, of course I'm not comparing her. This is just to make it. Sometimes they say Lamborghini builds one car, only this is one car, it is sold for $50 million for this prince, Battikh, prince whatever. They built him only one car, one model, only one. Can you imagine? The whole factory built only one model, unique, one model. Allah is one model, unique. He doesn't have similarity. So he cannot be sitting on the throne like a king. Because he's not compared to us. We sit on the throne. The king sits on the throne. So when God says, I sit on the throne, he means what? I am in charge. Ahsant. I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this universe. He used to give these examples and metaphors to the Arabs, because Arabs, when they say Hamid is sitting on the throne, it means Hamid is in control, he's in charge, because he's on the throne. So this is how we understand the Quran. So first, ideology such as this, and we have plenty of these verses in the Quran, that sometimes are muhkamat, and they need to be explained in the field of what? Field of Aqidah, ideology. And then we have other fields, such as what? Akhlaq. Akhlaq. Manners. So they explain. Such as what? Give me an example of a verse that speaks about akhlaq. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق In fact, Surah Al-Hujurat, Chambers, if you want to know akhlaq, in Quran, study Surah Al-Hujurat, chapter 49. إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. If someone unreliable, someone who doesn't fear God, has no taqwa, comes with a piece of news, be careful, don't immediately believe him. فَتَبَيَّنُوا أَن تُصِيبُوا قَوْمًا بِجَهَالَةٍ. Maybe you're going to judge a family or a person based on what this stupid man told you. So be careful. This is akhlaq. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يغتب بعضكم بعضا. زين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. Avoid, eschew much of suspicion. Don't base your judgment about people on suspicion. Don't say he didn't answer my text because he's ignoring me. Maybe he's in the emergency room. Maybe he lost his iPhone. Maybe he's in a car accident. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Don't judge people immediately until you hear from him. Maybe his phone was off. Maybe he was in the airplane for 7 hours, 10 hours. Wait. These are akhlaq. وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. Not jinn, believe me, no jinn. These are toys that speak from time to time. Yeah. I spent one night here 10 years ago. I went crazy. So don't. I have experience, yeah. All sorts of noises you hear. So this is akhlaq. And then other things in the Quran. We use the Quran as an evidence. Adab, literature. Arabic grammar and Arabic vocabulary, we learn it from where? From the Quran. Quran is a book of literature too. Book of grammar. History also. So many other things. Stories, qasas of the prophets. Okay? So these are also come from what? Ijtihadi also. So the ijtihadi, my sister Yusuf, is divided into two sections. One section, Afsana Khanum, one section is the ahkam, especially halal and haram. The second, the rulings, of course. Ahkam, we call them rulings. And the second, everything else. Akhlaq, stories, Now you may tell me, but the stories are mostly ma'thur. Yeah, he's going to say. But what is the answer? You have to answer it yourself. Because we spent some good time on saying what was wrong with the ma'thur. What was the main defect in the section of ma'thur? What was it? Exactly, fabrications. The story comes, today someone asked me to review he has written a book. So he sent it to me a while ago. Today I had some time in the morning to review the book. And then I said to him, listen, in this book, the book is great, but you have a problem. You have quoted references and books that brought these stories from other sources, from previous scriptures. And you have a problem. You have a problem here. You have to verify the source. Verifying the source is important. Verifying the source is very important. So don't bring me myths and superstitions, especially when it comes to Anbiya. Plenty of superstitions. plenty of superstitions surrounding the Anbiya. All the Anbiya. Solomon, David, Jacob, Isaac, this, that, this. They made them, you don't know whether to respect them or disrespect them. It's like a movie hero. Sometimes you try to love him, but he does something stupid in the movie. You say, no, he's not my hero. You are about to, follow him, trust him, but at the same time, he does something stupid. So this is what they did with the Anbiya in these books, Qasasul Anbiya. Qasasul Anbiya has many fabrications and superstitions. So here you have to bring what? Aql, your reason, put it there. Would the Prophet really do this? Ibrahim went to Egypt. This is a story found in our books too, but it's an Israelite. And then his wife Sarah was beautiful. And then he bargained the Egyptian king with his wife's beauty. He used his wife like today. Some people marry this lady because she's beautiful and I go to parties, so she would help market me, So he brings his wife as an aid, to market his business. This is about Ibrahim alayhi salam. We refuse it. Aql says no. Ibrahim would not do that. Ibrahim is a role model. Ibrahim is an example. So this is ijtihadi, tafsir ijtihadi. Because we use the same Quran to support that Ibrahim would not lower himself to this position. Yes, Dr. Ali.
So a question, I understood what you're saying, but I want to ask something just to make sure I understand it clearly. So the ijtihad is divided into two parts. It's not really, not really the ayat al-ahkam isn't a part, but it's how we use it to derive the other fatwas or rulings.
Yes.
So it's the derivation is the part.
The derivation.
The derivation is part,
Yeah.
not the ayat al-ahkam. The ayat al-ahkam is maqtul, so it's,
to derive, we use them. We use them to derive the rulings.
right, but this is the
So
part.
these are independent section from this.
Right.
These are by itself a whole chapter, a whole story.
Right, so it's the derivation.
And there is a lot of books. See, why this one has been distinguished from this? Because there are hundreds of books that focuses on this section, Ayatul Ahkam, because they argue that the Quran is about ahkam, is about halal and haram. Number one, before I learn the story or the akhlaq, I need the Quran to teach me my salat, my prayers, my fasting, my jihad, my khums, my this, my relationship. So this is why this is an important section. So it has been distinguished from the rest. Are you with me? Otherwise, they are both ijtihadi reasoning. But because of its importance and significance, it has been distinguished and made a whole chapter by itself, distinguished from the rest. Do you get the point, my friends? Because here you need more ijtihad than there. Because here more ijtihad. You need more ijtihad to use more reasoning, the process of ijtihad. Because this is, the answer is either yes or no. Don't tell me maybe yes, maybe no. You have to be precise. Tell me, yes, I can do this,
Right.
or I cannot.
Right.
So this requires a lot of effort. And in fact, the mufassir number one, who's graded as number one, is the one who does the best job in this field, not in other fields. Other fields, a story, story. But to show your intelligence and your expertise, you have to do good in this field. When you write a book in this field. Because this is like doing a surgery. Very complex, brain surgery. This is a brain surgery. This is surgery for your finger, There is an injury here, injury in your foot. So this is, but this one a brain surgery.
Right.
Very complicated process.
Is that why they get it wrong a lot?
And they get it right too. Right and wrong. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
tools.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
use the tools wrong.
Yeah. They use the approach is wrong.
Okay.
The tool is the Quran. The approach is wrong. The understanding is wrong.
Right.
The understanding is wrong. Yes.
So say, that's so ayat al-ahkam by itself, just ayat al-ahkam is ma'thur. We can say it's
No, 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 no. In fact, ayatul ahkam is ijtihadi, this branch, not the other branch. But includes the Quran and the Hadith. But the process itself is ijtihadi. Because the first one, the ma'thur, the naqli, is copy-paste. He doesn't use his brain. He says, Imam Fulan, Sahabi, Abdullah bin Mas'ud said this, Abdullah bin Abbas said that. He's not adding anything of himself. Copy-paste. Ma'thur is copy-paste. This one is not copy-paste. This one you may use the source, but also i'malul aql, i'malul fikr. Incorporate, use your aql here. He needs to study here. This is much bigger than the first one, than the ma'thur. Much bigger. This is a bigger task. This requires intelligence, my friend. Intelligence.
500 ayat said, right? You said there's 500 or 350. So if we take one of those, one of the ayat al-ahkam, this is a text, right? Like it's actual text.
It's a text, but he's working to derive the law.
But that's what I mean. So this one is the derivation part.
Derivation, exactly. Otherwise, the ayah is there.
Yes.
The derivation is tafsir. We call it tafsir.
Right.
Tafsir al-ijtihadi. The process of derivation.
Right.
Definitely, he's working on the text. He's working on the text. He's not bringing that derivation from vacuum, bringing it from the Quran. The process is called tafsir al-ijtihadi. The process. Are you with us?
Yes, but.
Alhamdulillah. You have to pay attention.
So that's a question for me.
Yes.
Like, for the Shia scholars, they have, they change with the times. Like they'll give a ruling, say about, I don't know, something women, like plastic surgery.
Exactly,
you know,
exactly,
and then
exactly,
one
exactly.
They said no at
Because
one point
this-
and now it's.
This process of ijtihad, we studied in Usul al-Fiqh. You did not attend previous years. Usul al-Fiqh is a very flexible science. A science that says, listen, the tools are fixed, Quran and Sunnah, but the understanding is different. And it varies from time to time. And not only the Quran and Sunnah, but you have to bring other elements too. Ijma', aql. We have to use your aql. It's not just Quran and Sunnah. Quran and Sunnah are the crude. They say the crude oil, huh? These are the what we call them, the material. The material are Quran and Sunnah, but then you have to use it because they tell you the Quran is very flexible. Think more, you get more answer. Think more about it. This is why there are modern masail, issues, that when we go to someone expert in fiqh, he can give me the answer. If he's not expert, he doesn't know how to get the answer. The ayah is very flexible. The ayah is very open. The ayah is not, confined to one situation. So the more intelligent he is, the better answer he can give you. This is why answers are changing. They are not fixed. They are not fixed. Maybe the same faqih, the more he studies, the more he studies. Today he gives an answer. After 2 months, he studies more. He can find another element. He can find another clue. God will open up his mind more and more. More and more. These are gifts from God. Understanding and intelligence are gifts from God. So God gives him more. In tattaqullah, yaj'al lakum furqanan. If you fear God, if you are more pious, more cautious in what you do, you connect well to God, you respect his rules, he will give you يَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ فُرْقَانًا. What does furqan mean? Furqan, if you open the English translations, criterion to distinguish between right and wrong. But here it has a more in-depth meaning. It means more open-mindedness, more intelligence, more insight. He gives you more insight to study, more intelligence, more understanding. This is the Quran. Fear God, I will increase you in understanding. You don't fear God, you're going to lose. Your mind is not going to work. You are not going to find the treasures. They give an example, a parable, like some divers used to go deep to get the pearls, natural pearls, not the not the artificial ones. Now Japan is creating artificial ones, but they used to 100 years ago. They used to send divers, and they go and they get the natural one, and it's very expensive, very expensive. And sometimes a diver would lose his life. He gets suffocated, he drowns, because he goes deep, deep down. The more he goes deeper, he gets the better. He can sell one of them and rest the whole year, because he went deeper. Quran is the same. Quran is an ocean that has no depth, no end. Huh? No bottom. No bottom, really. Imam Ali says. For us, sometimes we read it, we get bored because we don't understand. We can't go deeper. We can't. We don't have the capacity. We don't. But for others, they go. And this is why they change the rulings. They change the rulings based on their level of understanding. And level of understanding, my friends, increases and decreases, depending on your heart, your spirit, your iman, your connection to God. The Prophet brought Imam Ali. God said to the Prophet, سَنُقْرِئُكَ فَلَا تَنْسَى. Prophet Muhammad, don't worry. We know that you have many problems in your life, many wives, many neighbors, many conflicts, many bad news, many battles, many wars. Your memory is going to be safe. Because sometimes our memory, our brain is impacted by what? By the events. If you get stressed out, if something happens, if God forbids there is a loss, there is a tragedy, there is death, you lose your memory. Khalas, you don't know what you read today. God said to the Prophet, سَنُقْرِئُكَ. We are going to make you understand and memorize. فَلَا تَنْسَى. فَلَا تَنْسَى. You would never forget what you learn. So don't worry. I know you're going to go up and down. You face tragedies every single day. The Prophet was in the middle of a crisis. Every single day there is a crisis in Medina. Crisis in Medina. And he's responsible for them. For the poor, for the orphans, for those who get killed, for widows, for the hungry, for the enemies. فَنُقْرِئُكَ فَلَا تَنْسَى. And then the Prophet said to Imam Ali, Allah said, وَتَعِيَهَا أُذُنٌ وَاعِيَةٌ Surah Al-Haqqa. This book is going to be understood fully by the one who has an understanding ears. So the Prophet said, Ya Ali, سألت الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعلك ذاك الشخص. When this ayah came, I raised my hand. I said, Oh Ilahi, make Ali ibn Abi Talib أذن واعية. So Ali, from now on, you are not going to forget what you learn. You are not going to forget what you learn. This is a gift from Allah. Some people, they study, they don't forget. And some people study every day and they forget everything they learned. No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not necessarily you. Doesn't mean you are a bad person. It doesn't mean. We are natural humans. The Prophet and Imam Ali, they have been given immunity by God because they have a bigger task. The Prophet should not forget. If someone comes to the Prophet and asks him a question and the Prophet said, I don't know the answer, this is a disaster. He's a Prophet. He's not Mustafa al-Qazwini. I can say I don't know. Not a big deal. But the Prophet and Imam Ali, they cannot. So God supplemented them with extra protection. For us, one day we are up, one day we are down. Depends on things happening in your life. So my friends, these are the main distributions. So now we know ijtihadi has this and that, and we're going to focus sometime, inshallah, through these books on this, and we're going to enjoy this. Enjoy this. Of course, this ayah is Anfal 8:29. This one is Anfal 8:29. If you want, Surah Al-Anfal 8:29. God promises that if in tattaqullah, the more pious you are, the more righteous you are, the more honest you are, the more learned you become. God is going to give you more insight. Okay, what time is it now, my friends? Should we make you happy right now? Yeah, I believe we should make you happy. And then tomorrow, remind me, we're going to say there are two problems with this. Problem number one and a problem number two with this. As we said in the Ma'thur, what was the main problem with the Ma'thur? Fabrications, misquotations, fabrications. He says the Prophet Abdullah ibn Abbas said this. Abdullah ibn Abbas never said this. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said this regarding this verse. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, ibn Abbas, the last one to know. So we had that problem. With this one also, the reasoning, the aqli, the intellectual, we have also two main. What are they? Or do you want to postpone it until tomorrow? And you come up with the answer. I leave you with this question. This type of tafsir, though it is very good, excellent, and we have been encouraged, and Allah wants you to use your aql and your mind to understand His book, but we face two main challenges. Also we have challenges. So both have challenges. The ma'thur, the naqli, and the aqli. The naqli is mostly fabrication. This is not fabrication, but something else. Something else. We will study them tomorrow, inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ahli baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.